City and the beautiful Peak District, which is just a short drive away from the site of the MK John Wilson Trophy. And this, the first time that the UK has hosted a senior Grand Prix competition. This city did indeed host the European Figure Skating Championships some 10 years ago, but now the chance to host a stop on the prestigious Grand Prix series. And we have seen the pairs short program completed with the world champions Alexa Kneedham and Brandon Frazier leading the field after the first portion of their competition. And now a look ahead to the men's short program. And wonderful to see two British entrants competing. British figure skating has in the past boasted some Olympic men's champions in the shape of John Curry and Mr. Robin Cousins, who has been pivotally involved in helping the creation of this Grand Prix event. He's the Olympic champion from 1980. And Robin, alongside British ice skating, have been working hard to prepare this venue for the Grand Prix stage. And they're the list of competitors in the second group. The venue of Ice Sheffield has previously hosted a junior Grand Prix assignment back in 2007 and 2008. As we see the lineup of the judges, 9 judges and 3 members of the technical panel who will cast their eyes over the 7 elements in the men's short program. And as we've touched on in the previous Grand Prix, different judging criteria for the program component scores this season. The judges will all have been well versed and trained in how to assign their component scores for each of the 12 competitors in the upcoming men's short program. It's great to see an audience here to celebrate this event and a chance to see some of the world's best figure skaters in the UK. You can recognise many coaches and skaters in the audience to really embrace the learning opportunities the competition will hold, and indeed to support some of the local skaters who are competing. And although the venue is a twin pad facility, one of the Olympic-sized ice rinks here in the building has been covered over to be utilised as a place for the skaters to warm up off the ice and a place for the media to interview the competitors here. And we see the first group, 6 competitors who will take to the ice shortly. Some of their coaches, two-time world champion Stéphane Lambiel, part of the coaching team for some of the skaters in this first group. Wonderful to see British ice skating coaches involved in the team to support the event. Skaters and coaches here, part of the organising committee to make an event like this run as smoothly as possible. The 6-minute warm-up underway for the first group of 6 men competing in the men's short program. 2 Japanese competitors, 2 Brits, 2 skaters from North America. The first skater in the men's short program, Koshiro Shimada from Japan. 21-year-old. Will be battling for that 3rd spot on the Japanese team for World Championships. So many incredible skaters from Japan. Indeed, Koshiro trains with the likes of Shoma Uno, the world champion, under the tutelage of Stéphane Lambiel. This skater on your screen is Ed Appleby from Great Britain, but the next competitor will be fellow Brit Graham Newberry. Amazing opportunity for the British skaters to compete on the Grand Prix in their home nation. And amazing for their friends and family to have this far to travel to support their skater. 3rd competitor will be Tatsuya Tsuboi. He is the current and reigning bronze medalist from the Junior World Championships, having placed 3rd in Tallinn, Estonia a few months ago. This his first season as a senior competitor. He said that he's been inspired by Kao Miura's results this season. He'll be hoping to follow in the footsteps of Kao Miura with some success and medals in the Grand Prix stage. Indeed leads the standings of the Grand Prix stage so far. He has 26 points. His medals, his 2 Grand Prix assignments. As we look now to Canada's Corey Circelli. Corey, born incidentally in Manchester in Great Britain, which is just an hour's drive away from Sheffield, where the MK John Wilson Trophy is taking place. Now, a resident of Toronto, where he trains with his esteemed coach, Mr. Brian Orser. Corey looking comfortable with triple loops, triple toe. This Corey's first senior Grand Prix season as well. 4th place at his 2 junior Grand Prix assignments last year. I'm sure replicating that kind of result would be well received by the Canadian. As we look now again to Edward Appleby, the 17-year-old who is the first British man, the first British skater indeed, to win a junior Grand Prix medal in 19 years. And high hopes for the young 17-year-old. He trains in Romford with his longtime coach John Wicker, the coach who has taught him from his first steps on the ice. And the final skater in this first warm-up group, Tomoki Hiwatashi from the United States of America. Nice quadruple toe from Tomoki as he warms up. He's 3 times been in the top 10 at the 4 Continents Championships. the others. He has competed numerous times on the Grand Prix circuit, the senior Grand Prix circuit, finishing as high as 5th at the International de France in 2019 and 4th at the 2020 Skate America. Tomoki looking very comfortable with the quad toe. That will be the first element in his short program. And 3 of the 6 skaters in this group wanted to use quadruple jumps as part of their planned program content in the short program. And as the competition progresses, we have to assume that potentially it will be 2 quads that will be required in the short program to lead the field after the first day. And that concludes the warm-up, and the ice is cleared for the first competitor. 21-year-old Koshiro Shimada from Japan. And he will skate to Sing, Sing, Sing. Koshiro plans quad salchow to open. Slightly under-rotated. Lands it. Great start for Koshiro Shimada, quad toe, triple toe combination. Step out of the triple axel. See his coach Stefan Lombia living the performance with him. What a way to start the men's short program by Japan's Koshiro Shimada. And they had a planned program content to include just 1 quadruple jump. And it was that quad salchow which he used as the only quad when he won the short program at the Lombardia Trophy in Bergamo. Choosing to do 2 quads though here in his short program. With that quad toe, triple toe being the better of his 2 quad jumps. It's a shame he had to step out of the triple axel later on in the program. But coach Stéphane Lambiel looks satisfied. Let's check the rotation here. Quarter rotation short, so just that impacting the grade of execution from the judges. But fully rotated on that quad toe. And managing to get pretty good elevation on the second part of the combination to force a respectable grade of execution. Actually now the technical panel just deeming that the quad toe was a quarter rotation short as well. And there the step out of the axle. So upon review, despite his increased technical difficulty with the 2 quadruple jumps, it will be a challenge now for Koshiro to post as big a score as the 89 points that he had at Lombardia. But developmentally, as the season progresses, I'm sure he and his team know that 2 quads are a necessity if he's going to challenge for that coveted world team for Japan. The assumption would be that world champion Shoma Uno will be selected. See how Yuma Kageyama from Japan fares as he returns to competition following some injury. Comically, Koshiro had said to the press that he was struggling to understand some of the English spoken in Sheffield. The Yorkshire accent, I can confirm, not always easy to understand.
Koshiro Shimada representing Japan has earned in the short program.
So I'm sure there'll be some understandable at this point, but you can see the hand gesture for Koshiro suggesting that he understands that there will be rotational issues affecting his score. Now, a huge moment for the second man competing in the men's short program. Cheered on to the ice by his coach and his father, Christian Newberry. This is 24-year-old Graham Newberry skating to the music No Good. Graham opens with his most difficult jump to start. What a shame. Just a single axle, not the intended triple. Triple loop, triple toe for his combination. through axle as transition within the step sequence. Well, really passionate commitment to the presentation for Graham Newberry. A short program that he choreographed himself, and you can tell he's invested completely in the work. Just a shame about the opening triple axel attempt. Just turned that into a single. Triple axel worth 8 points. That's the most difficult jumping pass that Graham had in the program. Greeted by his father, Christian Newberry, who himself was the 1989 British champion and a fellow European and World Championship competitor. And Graham, now himself a 3-time British champion. He has had experience at Europeans and Worlds. And this a huge opportunity for him. A skater like Graham will have been so thrilled to find out about the MK John Wilson Trophy, knowing that the Senior Grand Prix would be coming to Sheffield, and the likelihood he would have the opportunity to represent his nation on home soil. His brother Jack also works with Graham as well, so a real family affair for the team who train in Romford, further south from here in Sheffield. So as I say, 8 points gone completely with the lack of triple axel. But I have to say the presentation component score should be favourable for the British skater. I was impressed with his energy and commitment at the very top of the programme, even with the big element still to come. Didn't hold back in committing to the programme construction or the delivery. His personal best was from the World Championships earlier this year of 74. He's 10 points short of that. But both he and his father seem to understand the 64.3 for Graham Newberry, who goes into second place at this stage.
Tatsuya Tsuboi.
The third competitor in the men's short program, 19-year-old Tatsuya Tsuboi. And Tatsuya skates to music, Stairway to Heaven. Quadruple Sako.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have
An effortless triple axel.
There's a songbird who sings
triple flip and double tone combination. Japan's Tatsuya Tsuboi completes his short program. Just fascinating to look back at the domestic competitions that Tatsuya has done. He has competed at the Japanese Junior National Championships some 7 times, it seems, and that such testament to the depth of talent in Japanese men's skating. Really challenging it is to be able to represent Japan at this stage. And it's scarcely credible to think that an athlete with a quadruple salto like this and the really effortless triple axel with this delightfully soft knee bend on landing will struggle to qualify for the Japanese world team. As wondrous as he was, the grades of execution on the likes of these spin elements has to be even higher, and this could be costly for Tatsuya. The double 3-turn in between the triple flip and a double toe will have a negative grade of execution and a lower base value than the triple he would have been hoping for. In the 2019-2020 season, he suffered consecutive injuries, withdrew from nationals, focused on his studies to pass exams for the Kobe University, one of the best in Japan. So this, not just a brilliant skater, but academically very gifted and focused as well. And en route to winning that bronze medal at Junior Worlds in Estonia, he posted a short program score of 79.15 points. He struggled to replicate that. Go into the lead with Koshiro Shimada, his compatriot, leading at this stage with 80.84. Tatsuya cites one of his hobbies as being sightseeing, so an amazing opportunity for him to hopefully see some of the UK in the first Grand Prix allocated to this country. 76.75 for Tatsuya Tsuboi, 4 points behind his teammate and leader Koshiro Shimada at this stage. The next competitor, another in his first senior Grand Prix assignment, the 20-year-old Circelli, skating to a Prince medley. triple lutz, triple toe to start for Cody. Difficult spread eagle entry into the triple axel, just under rotated, landed on 2 feet. Just beautiful position in the outside edge on the camel spin. Disaster for Corey, just a single flip. You can see the exasperation from Corey Circelli from Canada. Good to see him smiling despite the disappointment of the triple axel and the single flip in his short program. And to the ardent skating fans, it might come as no surprise to learn that Corey competed internationally as an ice dancer as well, and that somewhat evident in the style that he delivers across the ice. Beautiful skating, gorgeous camel spin position. But as he is greeted by Brian Orser, just a shake of the head. There's not much that can be said in regards to the performance, considering the mistakes made. And Corey, with a lesser technical difficulty than the two Japanese men who lead at this stage, really needed a clean skate. This was the best of the jumping passes. Triple lutz, triple toe. Transitioning out with that back 3 turn into the inverted Ina bar. Difficult entry for the spread eagle. But you'll see a lack of rotation at the end of the jump on the 2-footed landing, and the judges' reductions for errors chart clearly shows that should be massive reduction in the grade of execution. And here, a single flip worth no value. Did a triple there. But despite the mistakes, you can understand why Skate Canada is backing this skater. Beautiful style, good quality in the spins. And with a team like Brian Orser behind him, be surrounded by other athletes who will be jumping quadruple jumps. There's no doubt that he will be delivering those in practice and mindful of what is necessary for success. As you can hear people saying, "Love you, Brian." His coach, 2-time Olympic silver medalist in the 80s, and now coach to so many amazing skaters. just fascinating to know that Corey, born in Manchester, just an hour's drive from here in Sheffield. Many of the skaters flying into Manchester or London en route to the beautiful Yorkshire area. Sheffield, host to the MK John Wilson Trophy. So 62.97 points for Canada's Cody Circelli. And he goes into 4th place of the 4 competitors. And now one of the youngest competitors in the entire competition, the 17-year-old Edward Appleby, who trains in Romford near London and competing in his first Grand Prix in his home country. Just stepping out of the opening triple axel. Double loops, triple toe combination. '17-year-old Edward Appleby from Great Britain. Just a huge moment for Ed, competing in a senior Grand Prix, and wonderful to hear the reaction from the crowd. A crowd that will be elated to have the chance to see the likes of Ed competing alongside some of the world's very best. Ed will be disappointed though, stepping out of the triple axel and just a double triple combination, not what was wanted, as he thanks his coach John Wicker. And amazing partnership they have made. John has been his coach since some of his very earliest steps on the ice when he started skating at just 4.5 years old, and John must be beyond proud of his student Ed. This is the opening triple axel. Just a step out there. So his compatriot Graham Newberry, who he trains in the same rink with in Romford, did a single axel. It'll be interesting to see how the other stats compare. The programme component scores for Ed not as refined as Graham, so it's possible that that may be a pretty big issue for Ed staying ahead of Graham. As we see the double lutz triple toe combination, was hoping for triple triple and thus lower technical element score there too. Ed works with Wendy Ross and John Kerr on his choreography. John Kerr, an ISU championship medal in ice dance also for Great Britain. Tapping into other British talent to push his scores higher this season. He was successful on the Junior Grand Prix last year. Indeed, being the first British skater to medal on the Junior Grand Prix for 19 years. And I'm sure this experience on the Senior Grand Prix will be another catalyst to move his improvements faster and faster. And as Coach John said to me that he was proud to be sharing the ice with such amazing skaters, and that entirely the attitude you would hope for him to have here in Sheffield. 62.52 for Edward Appleby from Great Britain. And now to the final competitor on the ice in this first warm-up group. Born in New Jersey, America's Tomoki Hiwatashi. Skating to the popular music by Hans Zimmer. And Tomoki will open the program with quad toe. Not quite the quality of warm-up. Success on the opening quadruple toe loop. Just a bit of a disaster again, just single axel for Tomoki. As well with triple lutz, triple toe. Tomoki Hiwatashi from the United States of America completes his short program. And the performance here really confirming the impact that competition pressure can have on the skaters. Saw it in warm-up, 2 almost textbook quadruple toe loops, just floatingly effortless on the landing, and yet under competition pressure, not the same quality on the first jump, and then the big nightmare that Tomoki will be frustrated with will be the single axel, as he's greeted by his coach Damon Allen, who trains him at the World Arena in Colorado Springs. Here is that opening quad toe, drop 3 turn. It's ever so slightly over rotated, relying upon the quality of the jump to be able to pull off a landing which others might have failed on, but the single axel. Good transitional content with the hitch kick. Some of you may spot Tomoki rotating in the clockwise direction. The first of the skaters today to do that. Later on in the program, triple lutz. And again, doing well to rotate 3 rotations on the triple toe in what was not an optimal landing of the first jump. Stag jump there was more transitional content. It'll be interesting to see how the judges consider the program component scores for Tomoki in comparison to the leader Koshiro. Lots of energy and conviction. I don't think the same quality of skating skill yet for Tomoki in terms of his flow and his power and speed. Perhaps mistakes on the technical element score may impact the judges, particularly on the presentation component as well. Tomoki had COVID for the US National Championships this year, unable to compete, so eager to have a good season, pushing towards the US National Championships in January. 66.68 for Hiwatashi. And he slots into 3rd of the 6 competitors after the first group in the men's short program at the MK John Wilson Trophy. At the standings, Koshiro Shimada leading with almost a 4-point advantage over Tatsuya Tsuboi, also from Japan, as we welcome the next 6 skaters onto the ice. The starting order for the men's short program based on a seeded draw. With all of the skaters having a world ranking based upon previous results of competition. And thus the expectation is that front runners in the event will be taking part in this group. So we see Shun Sato will be the first to compete after the warm-up. Shun Sato started skating at the age of 5 in the same rink as Yuzuru Hanyu and Shizuka Arakawa, Olympic champions from Japan. And indeed, Shun Sato wears a pendant that his hero Yuzuru Hanyu gave him when he was much younger. The legacy of Yuzuru Hanyu lives on. The next generation of Japanese skaters. The next competitor is in his second Grand Prix assignment of the series. 27-year-old Jimmy Ma, who competed at the Skate Canada International in Mississauga 2 weeks ago. He placed 9th in that competition. Looking for a higher result here. Looking to replicate some of the greatness that he produced at the Skate America event last year, where he finished in 5th place. Nice quadruple salto from Roman Sadovsky, the 23-year-old from Toronto. He won the short program at the Nebelhorn Trophy in Oberstdorf 2 months ago. And he really is a popular skater on the circuit. As we look now to the next competitor, Deniss Vasiljevs. Deniss, arguably one of the most popular skaters on the circuit. Certainly the reaction to his presence here in Sheffield has been impressive. Such warm appreciation for his skating from the fans here. And shout out to the social media team at the International Skating Union for the brilliant content they've been giving. It was fun to see Deniss playing table tennis in the warm-up area with his coach Stefan Lombiel earlier. As we look now to Morisi Kvitelashvili, the 27-year-old Georgian born in Moscow. He had a fantastic season last year, winning the Grand Prix in Sochi in Russia at the Rostelecom Cup. And an amazing 4th place just off the podium at the World Championships in Montpellier. This event working with some new coaches. Indeed, the coaching team formerly responsible for this skater, Daniel Grassl, has moved this year as we see him working quad loops, which he will use in a short program. Daniel Grassl, the 20-year-old, moved to the States this year. Daniel also in his second Grand Prix assignment after finishing 4th at Skate America. Daniel is the current and reigning silver medalist from the European Championships, but probably the favourite coming into the MK John Wilson Trophy. And a win in this competition, a brilliant result, potentially helping him to qualify for the Grand Prix final. 15 points for a win on the Grand Prix, to add to the 9 points that he achieved for a 4th place result at Skate America. Great warm-up. Quadruple lutzes in abundance on the ice. On the Grand Prix this year, next week's event, the NHK Trophy, is an incredibly stacked and deep field. Potentially a relatively more open competition here. Skaters like Daniel will want to exploit the opportunity to qualify for that coveted 6 spots at the Grand Prix final next month in Torino. The top 6 competitors in the men's, women's, pairs and ice dance categories will compete. So the 6-minute warm-up is concluded. Leaving the ice for the 18-year-old born in Sendai. He is the 4th winner of the Junior Grand Prix final from Japan, after the likes of Yuzuru Hanyu and Shoma Unu, who have both gone on to become world champions. Will Shun Sato have that same senior career? Skating to the music, Carol of the Bells. Just amazing, slightly off axis on the quad lutz. No sign of any mistake on the landing. Shame stepping out of the quad toe. Sato nails the triple axel. Japan's Shun Sato completes his short program, and really wonderful to see him competing on the Grand Prix given the challenges that he has faced with injury. I remember last season seeing him competing in Skate America and knowing that he was continually suffering from shoulder dislocations. He demonstrated such bravery last year in pushing through that and still managing to finish second on the Grand Prix in France. He really had lined himself up in contention for possible inclusion on the Japanese Olympic team in Beijing, but the injuries were just too great and he had to have a shoulder surgery. That took place on the 10th of February, the day of the men's free skate at the Beijing Olympics, and cannot imagine the heartache that he must have felt, not just not qualifying for the games, as we look at this very very easy looking quad lutz. And then into the quad toe. This will be a great frustration for him, just stepping out the quad toe and having to put it into combination with just a double toe. As I say, not just missing the Olympic team, not just facing injuries throughout the season, but then having to endure surgery on the day of an event that he had probably spent most of his life wanting to compete at. So total respect to him for the rehabilitation that he will have done to be able to prepare himself for success again on the Grand Prix this year. And although this wasn't the skate that he will have been hoping for, given the time that he will have lost in training this year following that surgery, really admirable to see him competing with quad jumps again by November of this year. Shun's personal motto is to challenge. He's certainly been challenged with injury, and now we wish him a clean bill of health to be able to continue pushing for greater personal best. His personal best short program score comes from last year's International de France, the Grand Prix in Grenoble, where he posted 87.82 there.
Shun Sato, representing Japan, has earned in short program
82.68 for Shun Sato. He may have hoped for more, I'm sure, but leads at this stage of the three Japanese competitors. The 27-year-old, born in New York, Jamie Ma from the United States of America. Looking relaxed as he takes his start position for his short program. Quad toe to start for Jimmy Ma. musicality with the hand movement for the chain sit spin to finish the short program for Jimmy Ma. And that significantly better a performance than that which he had in Mississauga. Thanking those that have supported him here. He had 2 falls at the Skate Canada International. Indeed, his opening quad toe at that event was a horribly painful fall. And complete redemption here. Yes, obviously a big fan here, both before and after the performance. And the cleaner skate allowing Jimmy to really commit to the presentation. Great character, great entertainer. And the opening quad toe facilitates that kind of commitment to the presentation. Choreography by Benoit Richaud. That opening quad toe, tight rotational position with the arms particularly. Would have liked a triple toe combination, just managed the triple double here. Had to work hard to secure the right back outside edge and landing for it. Butterfly, difficult exit. This year, the skaters have different criteria for the levels. A just little short rotation on the landing that triple axel. Technical panel will deem that in a quarter rotation short, so the grade of execution will be lower. And the new criteria for the program component scores playing into Jimmy's hands here. In regards to the presentation, love the musicality of that switch of the wrist within that chain sit spin. That should push the grade of execution. That one of the bullet points, if the element is musically phrased, that can enhance
Ben Winry.
the GOE.
Better than last time.
Jimmy just saying better than last time, and that it was. So he's added 16 points to the score that he posted in his first Grand Prix assignment, with a 77.72 for America's Jimmy Ma, and he splits the Japanese competitors in the short program. Another very popular skater on the circuit. So many fans around the world really appreciating the quality of skating and the interpretation of Canada's Roman Sadovsky. And he will use the music Cold by Chris Stapleton for his short program. Quad Sako in warm-up was just glorious. He will open a short program with that element. Comfortably lands that. And the triple axel. He questioned it. Went for the triple toe and then the triple lutz. Just such musical sensitivity and expression from Canada's Roman Sadovsky. You can really understand why he is a fan favourite. So many skaters appreciate the quality that this man has. And I think many invested in him as a skater with such massive potential. He's medalled in Grand Prix before with a bronze at the NHK Trophy back in 2019, but plagued by inconsistency. He was last at the Skate Canada International last year. I think everybody just recognizing that when it comes together, it's quite special. He has a style that's elegant and potentially so well suited to classical music, but yet here, the contemporary bluesy feel of his short program was just wonderfully expressed as we look at the opening quad salchow, which goes in as clean, as too will that the triple axel. Now he won the Nebelhorn Trophy short program on the Challenger Series, a big score of 89.57. I wonder if he'll top that here. This the triple lutz, and you can see considering double, electing for triple, under-rotated though I think, and a negative grade of execution on that, so it won't be a score that he's capable of, and I think so many people citing this as a man who's capable of pushing comfortably into the 90s. Hasn't achieved that yet, a couple of times at 89. I think if he can just continue to demonstrate some consistency, going to be able to continue refining and pushing for higher graded executions on the spins and pushing ever higher on the program component scores. Comfortably the best of the event so far. So this season he had 89.57. His personal best 89.61. Will today be the day that Roman Sadovsky goes above the 90-point marker in the short program at the MK John Wilson Trophy in Sheffield? 89 again. There's just off it. Had the landing of that triple toe been more successful, he would have comfortably soared into the 90s. But he leads at this stage with almost a 7-point lead over Shun Sato. From one popular skater to another. As I mentioned in warm-up, the reaction to Deniss Vasiljevs here in Sheffield has been incredibly warm. And he's been relaxed in practice. So playing table tennis in the warm-up area with his coach. The quad salto has been inconsistent in practice. Two-footed landing and a fall in the short program. Clean on the triple axel. Such good musicality through the step sequence. His trademark sit behind position to finish the program for Deniss Vasiljevs from Latvia. And the work that he and his coach and his choreographers do is just utterly brilliant in regards to the composition and the construction of this short program. Work with Salome Brunner, who's pivotal in the success of his coach as a competitor, Stéphane Lambiel, as well for this program. And it's that musicality and that performance skill that has amassed a virtual army of fans who support the Latvian skater. Unfortunately, the qualities that he possesses in the program component scores barely match the technical element score as yet. But developmentally, I think his coach Stefan will be satisfied that he attempted the quadruple salto to start the program here. It was only a double in his short program at the Skate Canada competition 2 weeks ago. And as I say, it hasn't been consistent in practice, so perhaps just pulling in and rotating was the objective, at least for Deniss here. Didn't let that fall affect him for the two remaining jumping passes. Triple axel was comfortable. And this, the triple lutz, it was under rotated or quarter short on the rotation of the triple toe in Mississauga, but goes into the system this time as fully rotated. So that allows the judges to keep the grade of execution up and to have a higher value for that element. There's only 69 points in Canada where he imploded in the free skate. But this will be a much better result for Deniss Vasiljevs. And that amazing speed and rotation on the flying sit spin. And those that are fans of the sport will know that his coach Lambiel was an absolute spin master. And it was interesting, Lambiel was quite effusive in his frustrations with Deniss. at Skate Canada. Looks much more satisfied with his student here. They've worked together for 7 seasons now. So 83.01 for Deniss Vasiljevs. And he moves just above Shun Sato from Japan into 2nd place. Morisi Kvitelashvili from Georgia, the 27-year-old who won the Russian Grand Prix last season. Most recently, he has been training in Italy with Lorenzo Magri.
Oh, Father, tell me, do we get what we deserve? Oh, we get what we deserve.
Hoping for quad sacco triple toe, but just a double. Just nightmare again, just single axle. Morisi. Continues the nightmare, just a double toe loop. Well, that a short program performance that Morisi Kvitelashvili from Georgia, we probably wish hadn't happened. Just no, well, one callable jump, a double salchow, triple toe, but that was wanting to be a quad. A single axle and a double toe loop. There, Lorenzo Magri, the Italian coach who's been working with him more recently, greets him off the ice. And this is a skater who was the first Georgian to win an ISU Grand Prix. And he finished just off podium at World Championships, top 10 at Olympic Games. But the score that he will receive here will be nothing like what he has achieved in the past. Just no drive up on the triple axle. And you suspect he felt it was a lost cause after those first two jumping passes. Going into what was an intended quad toe and just a double. And the senior men must include a solo triple or quadruple jump. But because that was just a double, nothing that technical panel can give him for that one of the 7 elements. He doesn't have the best of skating skills compared to others, so the program components can't help him too much. He has so much experience. His mother, a former figure skater as well, so coming from a family of skaters. Perhaps his knowledge of the sport from his mother right through his whole career, the reason he knew there wasn't much to rely upon after that opening double southpaw and that single axel. Tough for Coach Magri as well, who's only recently been working with him. And this not a reflection of any coaching input, just a bad performance day at the office. Perhaps some lack of training consistency, not delivering the mental security he needed to deliver here in Sheffield. So 56.42, almost 40 points off his personal best. So, encouraged by ice dance coach Matteo Zani here, is the final skater of the day, the reigning silver medalist from the European Championships, Italy's Daniel Grassl.
Stood at the cold face, stood with our backs to the sun. I can remember being nothing but fearless and young. We've become echoes, but echoes to fade away.
Quad loops to start.
We fall into the dark as we die under the way. Devils on your shoulder, strangers in your head, as if you don't remember, as if you can't forget. It's only been a moment, it's only been a lifetime, but tonight you're a stranger. Some
Flipping out of the triple toe at the end of the triple lutz combination. Great speed, positioning, and change of edge through the change camel spin.
scream.
Well, the final skater of the day, Daniel Grassl, really delivering where others have faltered. Following up an opening quad lutz with a triple axel, a triple-triple combination. Not 100% as he would have desired, but managed to live up to the pressure of being the final skater and possible favorite in this event. And he's had coaching change this year. Has worked with famed American skater Jason Brown on the choreography of this short program. Jason recently committing to another season of US National Championship competition. Great to see collaboration between them. Not the optimal rotational position and not ideal jump technique, but got the job done. This was great, the donut position, maintaining speed, just novelty and creativity in the camel spin feature, which was the best element of the 7. Should have had the highest grade of execution for me, I think. Daniel's longtime yoga teacher is accompanying him to Sheffield, Nicoletta, and they work on breathing and meditation, and he wants this support to help give him the optimal focus at the event. Great. As he matures to know what he needs to help him deliver at his best, as we see more of that creativity that he has used within the spin features. And at just 20 years old, wonderful to know a young man who knows his mind and knows what's necessary for him to achieve his personal bests. Joined here by Matteo Zani, ice dance coach, who will see coaching 2 of the teams in the ice dance competition, which will start tomorrow with the rhythm dance. So Daniel's personal best came from Worlds in Montpellier, and that was 97.62. His score from the Skate America, his first assignment on the Grand Prix this year, was 88. Falls short of that. And Daniel Grassl slots behind Roman Sadovsky, who was utterly beautiful in his short program, but stays in contention to try and take the title. Daniel Grassl's performance concludes the first day of competition at the MK John Wilson Trophy 2022, the 4th stop on the International Skating Union's Grand Prix series, and the first time that the Senior Grand Prix has come to the United Kingdom. Further down the results, the surprise that Georgia's Kvitelashvili finds himself in last place of the 12 competitors at this stage. We hope to see him return to his form for the free skate. You can sense the excitement and happiness from the audience to see such great skating in the UK. 10 years since the European Championships took place in this city. And now we get treated to seeing the likes of Roman Sadovsky, who leads the field after this short program. Beautiful skating skills, composition and presentation, backed up by that opening quad salto for the Canadian. And we hope any inconsistencies he struggled with in the past are gone for the free skate. We can enjoy more of his beautiful skating. And despite a fall on the opening quadruple salto, Latvia's Deniss Vasiljevs finds himself in 3rd place after the short program. This Englishman in New York, music was the perfect backdrop for his fantastic presentation and composition. And the final competitor of the day, Daniel Grassl from Italy, managed managed to land the opening quadruple lutz. And finds himself in second place, less than 3 points behind Sadovsky as they head into the free skate. So the men will continue with the free skate tomorrow, but we will start tomorrow's proceedings with the ice dance rhythm dance. Make sure to join us for day 2 of the MK John Wilson Trophy tomorrow.